Hey Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community, where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me, I'm Rebecca, your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we are diving into Disney Cruise Line's probably most visited port at this point that they don't own, Nassau. This is such a frequently visited port of call. So we're going to give you some tips, some things to look out for, some things you might want to consider doing with friends or family when visiting. As you're coming in, let us know which ship you are thinking about visiting Nassau on, or if you're already booked. And Hunter, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Hi, guys. My name is Hunter, and I am a travel advisor with Jayco Travel. I have been in the business for over 10 years now, and I absolutely love sailing with Disney Cruise Line. I have been on 29 Disney cruises across all of Disney's ships. I have a ton of firsthand knowledge and experience to share with the guests that cruise with me, and I love everything about Disney cruises, from the crew to the unlimited ice cream to their private destinations. It's the perfect mix of Disney and relaxation plus a little bit of beach time. So it's a great balance.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I could not agree more. Perfect vacation.
Yeah, so if you want to work with me, you can always reach out to me. The best way to get a hold of me is by email. It's hunter@jcotravel.com. Once we are finished with this, I will post a link in the Disney Cruise and Community Facebook group that will have this presentation, and those links will be clickable. So there's multiple ways to get a hold of me, but the best and quickest is always email.
Love that. Yes. And I swear, sometimes you answer my emails before I even send them. You're so fast. And it's because you know just about everything there is to know about Disney Cruise Line. There's so many specialties. I feel like this page could be 10 miles long.
Yeah, it could. But I really focus on family travel, whether that's an immediate family or like a multi-gen trip. I've had as few as I've actually gone solo, or had as few as just my family of four, and then up to 30 cruisers as a big multi-gen group for a celebratory trip. I also specialize in allergy travel and accessible travel. I have a lot of experience handling food allergies and dietary needs on Disney Cruise Line, such as celiac. And then accessible travel, because my husband is an amputee, so we need that accessible shower space to take off the prosthetic. We have sailed concierge on all of the ships. And then I am a Disney Cruise Line bride and recently had a 10-year vow renewal on the Disney Treasure.
Yes. Oh my gosh, those pictures were incredible. And if you want to know more about Disney Cruise Line weddings, definitely go back to the DCL Community YouTube page. We did a full recap. Hunter talks about what she was so glad she brought on board with her and prepared for. So definitely go and check that out. But if somebody wants to start planning a cruise with you, or a vacation in general, since you do just about any sort of travel, where should they start?
Yeah, like we talked about a few slides ago, the best place to start is by shooting me an email. From there, we will make sure that you have all of the necessary information. Jeez, I can't talk. And we'll get you on my calendar to have a phone consultation. I do like to get people on the phone, as it creates a better connection. It's kind of like a vibe check. Like, do you want to work with me? And then it eliminates all of the back and forth information that is done in email, and just streamlines the process and allows me to get to know you faster without an email thread of 30 messages.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so efficient. And I see so many people saying that they're going on their first Disney cruises. We've got the Dream, we've got the Wish. I see somebody sailing on the Destiny, which is so exciting, with visits to the Bahamas and to some of the private islands. But I think with any family, everybody's so different. So having that conversation with Hunter about, okay, this is what my family really likes. We really like snorkeling, or we're really not beach people at all. There's options for everyone, but that's why it's so important to have that conversation so that Hunter can tailor her recommendations specifically for your family. Oh my gosh. And there's just nothing like the feeling of getting that bippity boppity booked email. Bliss.
Yes.
So let's dive into all things Bahamas.
Yeah, so if you've been cruising, you've probably heard just stay on the ship in Nassau. And let me tell you, that's like decade-old advice. But Nassau has carried that reputation of being a skippable port by many frequent cruisers who feel like they've seen it all. But the island has completely transformed. They know they see the most of their revenue through cruise passengers. The port alone went through a $300 million renovation, and now it's a much more enjoyable way to experience the port area. But I'm going to show you ways to enjoy Nassau tonight and let you know why it deserves a second chance. Like I said, the port was fully renovated in 2023, but there's so many things beyond the port. In the port alone, there's the features are like there's an amphitheater, the Junkanoo Beach, the Junkanoo Museum. There's shopping, there's food. It definitely feels like a more modern, safe, and organized experience compared to the old port experience.
Yes, could not agree more. I was so happy my first visit after to see those renovations. They want people to have a good time when they get off the ship. So the fact that the port was able to make such a big investment, it should create confidence in the cruiser experience. Even if you just want to get off for a little bit, knowing that the port area is going to have plenty to look at, shopping, food, everything that Hunter said. But there's also so much to do.
Yeah. So on my most recent trip to Nassau, I went to Grand Hyatt Baha. I love this property. I love it for a cruise stop. I even love it for if you're going to go stay in Nassau for 5 days. It is a great property. So Baha is about a 15 to 20-minute ride from the port, and it's one of Nassau's most upscale resort complexes. The big draw here at Baha is for cruisers is the water park, but there's also ways to get access to the pool and beach if you are a guest. So we'll kind of talk about that. But here you can see, I've included on the slides what the pricing is through Disney, and then what the pricing is if you book the tickets on your own and do a taxi each way. And the taxis are regulated in Nassau, and there's a hub right in the port to get you to a taxi. And then you can even get your driver's number on WhatsApp and tell him what time to pick you up and he'll come back. That's what I did. But as you can see, the Baha Bay water park passes are pretty expensive if you have a family of 4. So right there, my family of 4, me having technically 3 adults based on that pricing, it's looking at like $700.
Wow.
And that's just for the water park. But if you book a room at Grand Hyatt Baha, depending on the season of travel, you might be able to get the room for one night for less. Yes, I know you're not staying. You're going to get back on the cruise ship. But if you book the room for one night, you're going to have access to not only the water park, but the beach and the pools and all the restaurants at the resort.
Yes.
So that's what I personally do. And if you have like toddlers, it gives you somewhere to get them out of the sun and have an hour nap when you're spending a whole day at the resort. So that's kind of like my pro tip recommendation for Nassau for Grand Hyatt Baha.
I love that. That is such a travel hack. And I mean, even with it being a Hyatt property, again, depending on time of year, I know there's different blackout dates for points, but even using hotel points, if you have a credit card that accumulates those, that's a great way to use that and not have to pay.
And I feel like in my family, at least, there's a lot of men that don't enjoy the beach or the pool like the women and kids do. So there is a casino in Grand Hyatt Baha. You can send the dads, the grandpas, or whatever to the casino or to the lobby bar or whatever. But I feel like this is a really good option for multi-gen groups because you can kind of split it up. Active kids at the water park, toddlers at the pool area, things like that. But truthfully, the transportation is really straightforward in Nassau, so I would have no hesitations on going on your own if you figure out that it is, cheaper to do so for your family. And if you're one of my clients, like this is something I'm happy to walk through with you, and we can weigh the pros and cons.
I was going to say, just a quick shout out here. Hunter is so good. Like, she will send you pictures of what to look for, signage. She will draw you a map if you need. Like, if you're not somebody who travels a lot, maybe you have some travel anxiety. Like, I'm from a big city, so hopping in a cab or a taxi means nothing to me. But if you're anxious, when I tell you the level of care that Hunter will take to make sure that you feel confident, she responds to everything, and you are in just the greatest hands. I'm so glad you have Atlantis in here too, because this is, of course, a hot topic in Nassau.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so again, kind of similar situation to Grand Hyatt. So I put the pricing in here of the DCL excursions, what is included. The transportation is going to be included, but the age range and then all the different activities. So these are things that you can see on the DCL website, but I also hyperlink them. So if you want to look through this presentation, you can click on the underlying ones and it'll take you right to the DCL website also. But if you look at the Atlantis Aqua Adventure, that's their water park. So for my family, it's $240 for 3 of us, and then $140 for the fourth one. That's expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the next slide, Rebecca.
Oh,
Okay. And then the same activities that were on the first page, you can book separately on the website, the Atlantis website, which I hyperlinked there where it's underlined. And you can see the pricing. Now, if you go to is it that one? Okay, so then I did some pricing. I put it right here. I have it in my notes right here. So a family of 4 through Disney is, for the Aqua Adventure, is $856. On your own with transportation, it's $760.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you get a room during low season, so I'm talking like September right now, it's like $340.
Wow.
And you get access to the water park.
Wow.
Plus about $80 in transportation, so you're around $450 opposed to $850.
Yeah, that is huge savings. Oh my gosh.
So again, just a little tip there, but for those of you that maybe don't know Atlantis, Atlantis is a name like most people think of when it comes to Nassau. It's like the iconic resort. It's only about a 15-minute drive from the cruise port, and just like Grand Hyatt, the water park is the highlight here. It's got world famous slides. You can see the slide in the picture is the one where you like go through the shark tank. But to be honest, it's a split second. You can barely, you are almost out by the time you realize where you're even at. There's a mile-long lazy river. There's other water slides. There's so many things to do at Atlantis. And yeah, just like at Grand Hyatt, you can book a one-night stay there. I know you're not sleeping there. That's fine. But there's the massive aquarium, the casino, tons of restaurants. There's marine habitat life you can add on. So if you book a room and it's low season, you can add on all these marine adventures with that savings.
Yes. And I know that there's somebody watching right now that's like, but if I book through Disney, they make sure that I get back to the ship in time and they take care of it all for me. And what you and I both are big fans of doing excursions on our own, port adventures on our own, kind of choosing our own adventure. What would you say to that person right there who's just like, what about getting back to the ship?
It's only a 15-minute car ride, right? And like I said, taxis are easily hailed at Nassau. Even the hotel, like maybe you told your driver, come pick me back up at 3 p.m. Maybe the cruise ship's leaving at 4:30. Even if say it's 3 o'clock and the driver doesn't show up, all you have to do is go up to the hotel concierge and be like, I need a taxi. And they're going to get you a taxi.
Yeah.
It's normal roads. They also have like a public transportation, like jitneys there also. I just prefer to just do a taxi. I think the savings is worth not being with a cruise group. So you have to think about how many people these cruise groups are corralling to get there, right? So you're going to get you're going to go to the theater or wherever your meeting place is on the ship if you're a Disney Cruise Line excursion. So you're going to be asked to be there like 30 minutes early. You're going to sit in the theater or the lounge. You're going to wait on all these people to be ready.
Mhm.
You're going to walk off in a giant group following the paddle, and you're all going to get in transportation. Just everything takes longer when you're in a massive group of people. You could be with 100 people going to Atlantis at Nassau. Like, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Or you could be with your family of 4 going in taxi on your own time. So there are pros and cons, but here I really think the pros outweigh the cons as far as doing it on your own.
Absolutely. Yes. Having the ability to go when you want. You're not in a rush to be on someone else's timeline. If your toddler has a meltdown, you don't have to wait for the entire cruise group to leave however many hours later. And you just make sure you have enough time to get back, right? This is where working with Hunter is so crucial because she can help you plan out, okay, when do you have to get back on your cruise? Oh my gosh, Memphis was so little.
Yeah, she was. She was
so
tiny.
cute. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so in Nassau, it is like really known for animal encounters. You can do them, like we already talked about Atlantis, but the second place is Blue Lagoon. It's a quick ferry ride from Nassau to like its own little island lagoon area. It's a calm lagoon, perfect for kids. They have dolphins and sea lions. They have cabanas, basic food and drinks. They have reusable wristbands for future visits. We did, as you can see, the dolphin encounter there, and we did really enjoy it. We booked through Disney Cruise Line, and it's one of those things where this excursion specifically, you have to book with the cruise. Like there's no other option to do it. Even if you go to the Blue Lagoon website, it's going to direct you back to your cruise ship. But we left in this mess. Like the amount of people doing this excursion or going to Blue Lagoon filled the entire ferry boat, and you're on their timetable. You have to stay at the island until you're told you're getting picked up. And that's something to take into consideration if you have young ones and toddlers, that a set excursion that's 4 or 5 hours long, like this one was, may not be the best fit for you.
Yeah.
We had a great time here. There's an adult-only beach area. There's a family beach area. They had inflatables. They had all sorts of stuff. One thing I do want to mention, because if you search Blue Lagoon, it's going to come up, is that in November 2023, they did have a ferry fatality. So the ferry took on a bunch of water. It ended up sinking or capsizing. I don't remember if it actually capsized. There was one elderly lady that suffered, and it did end up being a casualty. They went through an investigation and a protocol for operations to resume, and more strenuous training for the crew of the ferries going from the Nassau Cruise Port to Blue Lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things happen in the marine world. It happens. So there's always going to be boating accidents. I just want to point it out because for a while, the cruise lines did cease operations to Blue Lagoon while the investigation and all of that was happening. But I trust that since they have resumed, they feel it's safe to do so because Royal, Disney, all of them, like they put your safety at the forefront.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're not gonna send you on something that they would risk you, your family, ultimately Disney's clients or guests, right? And Natalie's asking if there's a way that her 5-year-old can go. I also have a 12-month. Could I bring both and just pay for the one kid if I want to stay with my other one and watch?
So there are observer options, but I believe to be an observer, I don't think the child can go, like the 12-year can go in without the adult. I would have to look. I don't know offhand, but there are observer options. I have those listed.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah, there are so many options, and depending on kids' ages, and whether or not you're doing at this one, obviously specifically you're doing through Disney.
Mhm.
But lots of people agreeing that this is a beautiful location. Somebody
Yeah.
saying they love the adult only beach here. So it seems Blue Lagoon. I know people ask about it
Yeah.
all the
Anyone
time.
under the age of 18 has to be accompanied by somebody 18 and over. I just looked it
Got
up.
it. Okay. So yeah, you would have to be in there. And I know some excursions, they won't even let you book for under 3, or there's age restrictions on who can join, whether or not they're being
Yeah.
carried or not. So I would definitely reach out to Hunter on that one. If you've already booked your cruise, she can definitely help you with that next one too, once you have your placeholder, because you're going to be addicted just like we are. And flamingos, I think, are the coolest animal. Oh my gosh, I'm
They
so excited
are
about this
so
one.
cool. So, fun fact, real quick, is Baha Mar has flamingos, and you can sign up and do flamingo yoga.
That's
And they
so
like stand
cool.
there and eat right around you while you're doing yoga. I saw
That's
I
so
saw some
cool.
pictures, or I saw some people doing it when I was there and took some pictures. Okay, the gardens. This is a small zoo and conservation center, but it's so cute and charming. And the star attraction is, of course, our friendly pink friends, the flamingos. The kids love it. Um, and it's just a great experience. It's shaded, stroller friendly, it's manageable for littles. It's not an all day outing. So like 1 to 2 hours max. You could pair it with a Nassau City tour. You could pair it with lunch, or you could pair it with Junkanoo Beach. So it's great for families who maybe want something a little bit more chill and low key, but want to go off and do something, maybe a little educational, without committing to a long beach day.
Yes. Oh, I love that option because not everybody wants to spend a ton of time off the ship. And speaking of other ships, people love this one.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't done it.
this is actually not the
Oh,
pirate one.
oh,
So I
really?
linked the one that you can do the ship excursion, but this is actually the museum. So there is a
Ooh.
pirate ship like excursion on a boat, which I linked here. But yes, this is actually for the museum. So it's great if it's like a rainy day in Nassau, or the blistering hot and humid, or you just have some pirate lovers. Or maybe you want to do the pirate ship excursion and pair it with the pirate museum. But
Yes,
the
love
museum
that.
is walkable from the ship. It's a low entrance fee. And it's another great thing that you could pair with a Nassau City tour, or Junkanoo Beach, or lunch in the port. Something easy for the kids to do.
Yes, I love how accessible this is. And Nassau in general, it's so easy to get around because, when you think about Jamaica, depending on where your ship is docked, to
Yeah.
get from Disney's port to Dunn's River Falls, you could be in the car for an hour and a half.
Yep.
So being able to bop around and do multiple things at a port is awesome. And I know we mentioned Junkanoo Beach a couple of times, and
Yeah.
this is a popular one too.
Yeah. So Junkanoo Beach is right at the end of the port area, walkable from the cruise port. No taxis or transfer needed. It's lively with local food booths, music, and a festive atmosphere. This is not the beach you're coming to if you want to take a nap, unless you're taking earplugs. Um, It's not as pristine and private as other beaches or the resorts, and it can get crowded, but it's very authentic, like Bahamian vibes. Okay,
Yeah.
this I feel like works for older kids and teens, not necessarily the toddlers, unless you're just going there to dig in the sand for a little bit, but not staying long. You can rent chairs and umbrellas to create like a home base for your family. Um, and then that way you can come and go without losing each other, go to the food shacks, whatever. But this is a very lively, fun beach if you just want a quick beach experience for, an hour or two.
Yes, it's so easy to get to. And this question, do you think teens would enjoy the Pirate Museum?
It depends on your teen. I can tell you that my 13-year-old son wouldn't, but he doesn't enjoy museums. Whereas I know a friend's kiddo who really likes history and museums and reading and stuff like that, like intellectual things, would love it. My kid is a total sports jock. Like, it's just not his thing.
Yeah. And then Abella is asking, do you need to bring your own towels or does Disney provide those? And then what about a wagon for getting from the ship to the beach? Worried about my little one walking.
So Disney Cruise Line does let you take their towels off for excursions, even if you are not going on a Disney Cruise Line sanctioned excursion. So you do not have to bring towels from home unless you absolutely want to. Um, and then as far as wagons, Disney Cruise Line only provides wagons or strollers at their private destinations, unless you're renting one of their strollers on board for the week, which are first come, first serve. But you can bring your own stroller onto the ship to take off for the kiddos. I haven't really seen people taking on their own wagons, but
Mhm.
strollers definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say the little umbrella strollers are definitely
And you have to
easy.
remember, whatever you bring has to fit in your fold up and fit in your stateroom.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Gosh, you're so good. We finished each other's sandwiches, right?
Sandwiches.
I love you so much. That's perfect. Okay, what about Clifton Heritage National Park?
Okay, so this one I love. Like my family is so adventurous. We don't mind going off the beaten path. I don't care that it's 30 minutes away. Like if it's got good views, if it's serene, if it's pretty like this picture, I'm going. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is about 30 minutes from the port. But if your family is like mine, it's worth it. You'll find trails and historical ruins and sites and snorkeling opportunities. And there's like a sunken plane and statue garden and I just love it. Younger kids will probably tire too quickly. I would definitely say like 6, 7, 8 and up. Um, Even my 7-year-old, it can get touch and go. But definitely for teens, this is a good one. Definitely is the best done with like a private driver or guide so you can move at your own pace. I wouldn't rely on a taxi for this.
Mhm.
It's a nice multi-gen option if you're all on the, you know, tween and teen side for the kiddos, because there's some active snorkeling while others can enjoy like cultural history and just the water, things like that. So it's a really good option, and I think it's worth the drive. And it's not what people think of when they hear Nassau.
Yes. Oh, I love that. So often people get stuck with, oh, well, this is what so and so is talking about in the Facebook group, so that's what I've got
Mhm.
to do. No, it's I don't want to say things are tourist traps because I don't love using that phrase. But there are other options depending on what your family wants to do. And this is a beautiful example of what that could be for your family. I love
Yeah.
it.
And I know, so it says 45 to 50 minutes, and I always err on the side of caution because Nassau traffic can be a little wild. 30 minutes on a good day, 50 minutes each way on a bad day is my
Mhm.
experience. And there are different like packages through the national park that you can book. And if you book one of the premium packages, it actually includes your transportation. So that's something
Ooh.
to think about. But there's like snorkeling adventures, there's a beach day, there's a heritage tour. So plenty of different options. I I just like that it's not. I like to get off the beaten path. I like to get away from the cruise port and really like experience that destination for what it really is. Like on
Agreed.
the heritage tour, they'll take you to an African slave village where you'll get to see how the plantation workers lived and farmed like on the small portion of land. That was such a huge part of history. Very sad, but like the history is rich. Um, you'll get to see like a forest, tons of wildlife and native plants, and it's just it's a different something
Yeah.
different to do.
Oh, yes. That it's such a good way to really get to know where you're visiting. You can snorkel anywhere, you can see dolphins, you can do all that, but to really get to know the culture is incredible. And Emily's asking, do you bring a credit card or would you recommend cash?
Definitely a credit card. Almost everywhere takes like credit card. For taxis, cash. But in my experience, like the businesses and stuff will take credit card. And there is an ATM. It's outside of the port area, but right across the street. There's it's actually like a little store with a bunch of ATMs in it on the back side of the stores that are immediately across from the port area. That's where I always go if I don't have enough.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to bring cash with you, but good option if you don't have it and conveniently located. And what about Rose Island? I don't know this one.
Yeah, so again, Rose Island is another one that's like away from the big name spots. And it gives you a more relaxed, authentic island feel. The way to get to Rose Island is by doing an excursion, but there's a lot of different adventurous excursions from kayaking and paddleboarding, swimming with the pigs, which is more glamorous in pictures than it is in real life, with them like pooping in the water and pooping on you and nipping at you. Just going to be completely forthcoming. Did I go for the social media pictures? Absolutely, I did.
Yeah.
Did it gross me out? 100%. It was disgusting. Anyways, this is more, again, geared towards those with school-aged tweens, teens. I would not take toddlers on these boating excursions because it is like a 30-minute boat ride from Nassau.
Got it. Good to know.
But this is great for another multi-gen group if you want to do like a private catamaran for a day.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's what I always recommend. When I have 2 families, if you have like 8 people more, I'm like, get a catamaran, split the cost, and have a private boat experience for the day.
Love that. And can you help coordinate that for your clients?
Absolutely. 100%.
Oh, gosh. What can't she do, people? What can't she do? What about the Royal Beach Club?
Okay, so I know we're on Disney Cruise Line Community, but I have to give this a little shout out. So Royal Caribbean is going to have a new beach club on Nassau opening in 2025. The end of this, I'm pretty sure it's 2025, the end of the year. And it's going to be like the first of Royal's Beach Club collection. And I'm really excited. It's going to be 17 acres. There's going to be a family zone, a beach or like a party cove and like a chill zone. And then it's going to have pools, cabanas, swim up bar, all of those things. And then Cozumel is coming next. So 2 cruise ports that I feel like frequent cruisers complain the most about are going to get Royal Caribbean's option to do their private beach club.
And Disney cruisers could use it?
No, but I had to do a little plug for it. So because I know we have some people that do enjoy both cruise lines, myself included now. I just went on the Star of the Seas preview last week and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Love me some Disney Cruise Line. Always be a Disney Cruise Line girl, but I'm not opposed to sailing Royal every once in a while.
Wow.
So I just had to give this a little plug because it's going to be a great addition for the Royal Caribbean cruising family in Nassau now.
Yeah, I feel like that could be a good business model of Royal, letting other cruisers come to their property and see about the food, about the service, get a little taste of it. And maybe you get like if you book with us next time sort of offer on your way out the door. So anyone from Royal is listening right now, just take it under advisement.
Yes, they could do that, or they can just create the FOMO. So I'm sure they won't open it to the public. It's not going to be open to the public as of now. It'll be exclusive to Royal Caribbean. But I hope that this short presentation helped you see that Nassau has been redefined. There's so many beautiful options and things to do there. And I really hope that you choose to not stay on the ship and skip it and go out and see some of the things it has to offer.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say, so many people are so quick to judge because that's just what they've heard, but go and experience it. See the people. Last time we were there, we did our own private excursion. We did a private fishing excursion on our own. We didn't book through Disney, and it was a blast. Our guide was fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good things. So it's okay to do something that works for your family specifically. As much as we love Facebook groups don't know everything. So definitely reach out to Hunter. The link to her page, I'm going to pop that up on screen for everybody. But like she said, we'll get this in the Facebook group for everybody so that you can click and get time schedule on her calendar. She can help you with flights, hotels, transfers, excursions, you name it. She is your girl when it comes to planning and getting excited for your Disney cruise or Royal Cruise or any of the other cruise lines. But I don't think we mentioned it before, but her services are actually free for you to utilize, her planning services and helping with the cruises. So reach out to her, let her help so that you can just focus on enjoying your vacation. Hunter, thank you so much for hanging out and for sharing all these tips. And we will see all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.